And dudes don't count you off the record to me. So don't be stepping to me, trying to shake my hand. I'm already the man, ain't trying to make your band. I feel the fact that I'm real, just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fact that I'm real, just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every lady wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. 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 You're not really seeing me, dog. Real talk. I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair.
Don't you wanna go, hey, to the place to be where strangers become family? Got the techie tribe and the busy bees. Also, Deb is mad at me. Won't you and your family come and hang? Ooh. Won't you and your family come and hang? Come and hang. With Kandi and Gang. It gets better every time. To be honest, it gets better every time.
I feel like you don't know what the words are, so you change them every time. But
whoa, it's very ABC writing.
What's going on, tribe? Thank you guys for tuning in and welcome back to another So Busy exclusive episode. Let's take care of my business real quick. If you guys want to join my tribe, please step by my side, go ahead and subscribe. Like the video, share the video, comment in the comments below. Make sure that to keep us in the algorithm, comment in the chat if you are here. Turn on the notifications and make sure you turn on all so we get notified. You get notified every time we go live. What's going on, Busy?
Oh, you talking to me?
Ain't your name Busy?
Oh, okay.
That's what we call you the other name.
Oh, you could go. I could do this video with my twin flame. Nothing. I'm just excited. I feel like I just talked to you.
You did. We literally just 20 minutes ago.
Literally just got up. But nothing's going on. I got really excited. I had to get myself together. As you see, I changed outfits.
Mm-hmm.
Because on the television show, our new guest is in a relationship, but who knows when that was filmed? So I had to get myself prepared. Now, okay, you like the jewelry? You think that he'll like it? So I had to change outfits. So I'm just really excited. I just talked to my mom. I prayed. You gotta pray to the relationships. That's what they say in the church. Ask God, for what you want. So I went. I prayed. And I did what I needed to do. I went into deep prayer. I talked to some of the people in the comments. They prayed over me, made sure that the interview goes well. So.
Okay.
I'm just excited about it. What about you? I like the orange bandana thing you got going on.
I'm feeling good, thank you. You just trashed it like a few minutes ago, but that's fine. I'm feeling fine. Do you want to introduce our guest?
Yes. So without further ado, okay, we have a fellow Piscean. Because we really are the best sign. They say the best for last. Okay.
Allegedly.
A restaurateur, entrepreneur, okay, model, okay, someone who get the things together, get the people in line, let you know what to do. Clenched jaw, aggressive in nature, but let you know what you need to do. Someone who's here, if you have water on your floor, he's here to save the day, okay? We have the one, the only, my future baby daddy, if he's not still in a relationship. Phillip. How are you, Phillip?
I love the introduction.
You never heard like that, have you? I hope I got it right. I think I said everything that you told us to say. How are you, Philip? I know you said you was tired. You just got in all day from working. How are you? Thank you for taking time to be with us.
Thanks for having me on your podcast.
Can we only see some of the people to calm down in the chat? This is a very serious thing. So excited about you and being on Kandi The Gang. Now it's been mixed reviews over here on this channel because episode by episode, your likeness goes up and down. Sometimes when you first started, I was like, yes, God. But then there was one episode I was like, no, God. But just in general, how has your experience been being on the TV show?
It's pretty cool. I mean, I think that the things I don't like about it are usually this is my personality, right? But it's different when you actually have to see yourself reenact basically what happened. Like usually we live in the moment, it passes, somebody says, do you know how you are? You're like, not really, because it was the heat of a moment. But then when you have to watch it back, it's like, oh, I was really on 10, or that was that's exactly how that went down. But overall, it's been an experience. It's been cool.
I was watching your spec on it, and you said that you never saw yourself being someone who was going to be in front of the camera or even doing something like this. Are we sure? Because you have the face for it, you have the personality for it. Was it just in this type of venture that you didn't see, or did you just really never think that you would be in front of anybody's camera?
You know what? No, I'm just a shy person. I'm a very introverted person. So for me, maybe not shy in some respects, but just as far as being in the public eye, etc., it's never been something that I sought out to do. So this just happened to coincide with something I was already doing for work. Initially, honestly, I said I didn't want to do it. Yeah, I didn't really get excited about it until other people were just excited about the fact of what the opportunity was. So the more you kind of tell people something that's on the table and they're kind of shifting your perspective on it instead of all the things that you think could go wrong with it, you're like, oh, this could actually be a really dope opportunity. So I started to get excited as we got closer to filming, but leading up to it, it wasn't like I was like, oh, bet I'm about to be on TV or anything like that.
Well,
I say that all the time.
I'll say this. I think so. I saw you on the speak on it too, where you said what your first name is, which is Quasi, and that name. So your parents must have known differently because that name means handsome, confident, intelligent, and well-rounded man.
Quasi mean all that?
Yes.
Well, that's your first name or your last name?
No, so my first name is Philip.
Okay.
My middle name is Quasi.
Okay, the middle name.
Okay, Quasi. It's Quasi.
So they must have known
Quasi.
So they must have known something because that name means a lot.
I appreciate that. You're right.
Oh, come on, name background. What Philip mean? Boring, stern.
What'd you say?
I was asking, what does Philip mean?
I don't know. Philip is the lover of. Philip with one L is the lover, and Philip with two L's the lover of horses. It's something weird. I don't know. I never really looked into that.
The lover of horses?
Philip is good for business. Philip is somebody can say Philip. I say, hey, my name is Philip. They can remember it and they can say it again. Quasi is different. Everybody goes crazy. They say everything under the sun. They just overthink it when it's just Quasi.
Okay.
I mean, I love both names. They've always made me excited. It's just something about Philip, something about Quasi. Those have been my favorite names since birth. Since I was a little boy, I've always loved those names.
Thank you.
Where are you originally from, Philip?
I'm originally from Atlanta. I grew up
really? Born and raised?
Yep.
Okay, person number 15.
I don't know why I thought that you were more of a Cali guy. Something about it made me feel like you had a Western feel about yourself, but maybe it's because of your cool, calm demeanor.
Nope, I'm from Atlanta. I've lived in a lot of different cities. The company that I worked for before, we used to get transferred around a lot. So I've lived in Miami, I've lived in LA, I've lived in Napa Valley, New York, Texas. I lived everywhere. I moved for a good 10, 11 years. I just kept moving around. So
what's your favorite place you've ever lived?
Miami, hands down.
Really? They be shooting.
Quality of life is amazing. Your everyday life is like a vacation. So like the things that other places like make as a luxury or make it so hard, your everyday life is just good.
I like that. I like Fort Lauderdale.
But it's worth it.
It is expensive.
Yeah.
Then you used to live in Miami or Florida, Deb?
Mm-hmm. I got a 305. Oh, you used to live there too?
No, I lived in Orlando.
Oh, Orlando.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a phone number. I lived there. Trust me, I'm gonna move back to Miami at some point.
I went to flight attendant training in Hollywood, Florida.
Oh my God, that's between Fort Lauderdale and because I love Fort Lauderdale. Between Fort Lauderdale and Miami.
I hated Fort Lauderdale.
Why? It's like a secret paradise.
Barely.
You a hater, and it's written all over that scarf. So, Quasi, do you mind if I call you Quasi? Yeah. So, when I was watching your speak on it, they were talking about Pisces, and it was very odd to me that Kandi and Todd were like, I don't know no Pisces, I don't know anything about them. And you were like driven, goal-oriented, and I was thinking to myself, what Pisces he know? Because we're very dreamy, we're very airy, we're lovers. But what would you like? They stopped you as you were explaining the Piscean to you. What type of Pisces would you consider yourself? Because I am driven and goal oriented, but I'm a lover and I'm airy and I'm spacey.
So that's crazy because I know a lot of Pisces. Like, kid you not, probably like 8 of my friends are like all Pisces, right? And we're all of our personalities are really different. But I remember one time I went to actually get my future read or whatever. And she was saying all these things that like were nothing about how I am, but were associated to like my zodiac sign. She was like, "You're very dreamy. You know, you go this way, that way. You have several different jobs, but you try to focus." I'm like, "No, not really. Actually, I mean, I'm 36 now. I've had like 3 jobs in my life. You know, like I stayed with the last company I was with for 16 years.
Ooh.
Like I'm not really like I dream about things, but I'm also a person that just likes to make it." Like do what I dream about. I'm not like one of these like dreamers who actually that frustrates me. People that just dream and it's like you got a million different ideas, but none of them you really tap into to kind of bring it to life. It's like I'm more of that's what I want. Just go for it.
So you're the only Pisces like that? Because your birthday is 4 days after mine.
Okay, no, okay.
And I was more like a Virgo to me.
What? No,
like,
his personality is Virgo on the TV show. On the TV show, do you feel like now watching yourself back, there is a TV Phillip and a real Phillip, or do you look at the TV and say, "Yep, that's me. That's how I handle things"?
No, it's definitely me. I'm not gonna say that I like every part of it, right? But I can definitely tell. You know, I say what's on my mind, and I think that I'm also a person that reacts very differently when I get uncomfortable. So oftentimes when you see me in situations, especially like when we're filming, you got a million cameras around. So like there's not just one camera that's facing you. There's like a whole production team. And so when things catch you off guard, because it is so unscripted, when things catch you off guard, it's magnified times 10. So like I'm a person, if I'm sitting in a group of people and we're all irritated by it, but like some people want to walk on eggshells or be like going to this and like, all right, bet this is what we're going to do when we get there. And then nobody does what they said they were going to do when they get there, I get agitated quickly. So a lot my reactions are magnified just because I'm very agitated in those moments. But I definitely see that it's just my personality.
Oh my God, that sounds just like me. So if like watching all of these 7 episodes back, which moment would you say was like not one of your favorite moments and you wish you could redo?
Okay, I would not redo it.
Okay.
But it caught me off guard. And I'm not going to go into depth about the entire thing, but the situation with Torn really caught me off guard.
That was an interesting scene.
Wait. Why did that catch you off guard though?
Because
Torn and I had actually interacted before that.
He told us that.
Yeah, he did.
Right. And so, mind you, with Torn, I didn't want to manage Torn. And the reason I say I didn't want to manage him is that I didn't want to manage events. So I went in as a consultant and I managed one location. I managed Blaze. And with me managing Blaze, I was basically, when you consult for people, you basically are not a day-to-day operator, right? You're there to kind of be there hands-on, but you're really there to kind of build the people who manage day-to-day to be like better, right? Because I'm not a long-term fixture in it. So when this came about, they were like, hey, can you do our 2 other stores? So I'm doing Blaze and I'm doing both old lady gangs, right? Mm-hmm. So when they asked me about events, I'm really good with numbers too. So when it comes to like pulling a profit, I'm that guy that outside of like cleaning clogged drains and getting into it with staff about their stupid behavior shit, I'm the type of person that actually like brings home the profit. Like I know how to manage every aspect of what they bring home, right? Yes, so anyways, with Torn, you know, Torn had a history with them already. And that being said, they were like, look, we want to bring this guy back, but there's a gap. He is great at like putting the events together, but he doesn't know how to connect the dots, meaning like there's usually like not a profit. And I'm not saying this in a shady way. It's just what it was, you know?
Well, this is the past as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So there's usually not a profit. And then in addition to that, it's just not seen through. It's like somebody who puts on a whole party, but who's going to clean up? Who's going to put shit back together? Right? So anyways, when I came into it, I was like, well, guys, why don't you give him another shot? Maybe he didn't have the correct amount of support or resources to be able to be successful when he did events. Because
they should have showed that.
What'd you say?
They should have showed that.
Why would they? Who cares about that? That's not something that people are really going to care about in that regard. You know what I mean? So there's a narrative, but it's fine. You know. Anyways, so that night that I met him was the night of our reunion. Mm-hmm. I helped him, like I'm loading furniture onto the U-Haul. I'm like, and this isn't my job, mind you. Like I could have been like everybody else who was just kind of sitting around, but I didn't want him to look bad. Yeah. Right. I wanted Todd to see him as this person who followed through. So anyway, concluding that night, everything was cool. So our next interaction was actually what you all see on TV. Yeah. So when he walked into the space, first of all, everybody knows me. Even people that I don't know me because
everybody knows me. Yes.
No, I'm serious. Everybody in that company, even people that I haven't met, are like, "Oh, you're Phillip. I've heard about you," because that's how it is. When somebody comes in hot or whatever the case is, there's always something to be said. How does he look? How does he talk? How's his personality? Whatever. So it was already like a big talk about who I was and what I was doing, right? Mm-hmm. You got to think, I moved between 3 stores. So a lot of people hear about me well before they meet me. So Torin definitely knew who I was when he walked in.
And you helped him with the chairs.
Most definitely. So when we had that interaction, I was like, wait, what just happened from that to this point? So honestly, but you don't get to pause. Mm-hmm. I remember like looking up and looking at the production. I was like, what is going on right now? Like, is this?
I didn't get the script.
Like, I missed the cue. Like, what happened? And so it went left so quick. You know those moments that catch you off guard, and you're literally like, you're like shook. Like I was like mad. Like I was hot. And so my responses, to be honest with you, weren't even connected to like probably what I even truly wanted to say to him. I just couldn't even believe it was going that route because I was like, yo, I've never talked ill of you. A lot of people question how you left and question, you know, your abilities, to be honest with you. And I honestly said I was going to work with you. So anyway, to the point, I would have redone that because I think the conversation could have gone differently. And I would have honestly painted a picture that was more realistic to like the things that people question about him. Like they question his capabilities. And I was there to support him in that. They questioned all of their capabilities. They questioned Brandon's capabilities, Melvin's capabilities, like tons of people who are managing their operation. They questioned their capabilities, but they didn't have resources. They didn't have somebody to go to who they could actually like look for to be more knowledgeable and to be better at their jobs. So Torn was no different from that. I just didn't want to do it because I had enough on my plate.
What do you think it was the difference between the experience of everybody else versus Melvin? Because Melvin had a very good experience when they were talking to everybody. Everybody else was like,
Yeah, he was on your train. He was the only person who was like, oh, no, I love it.
You know why? Because so this is what I mean by like grooming them to be smart. And to be honest with you, Brandon, he's just not very vocal. But Brandon, all the managers in their company all sit in the same boat with me as Melvin because I'm there to support them. I work hard, but I make their jobs easier for them. They were so uninformed. They were expected to kind of do a really good job, but no one actually trained them. They're like, oh, you went to culinary school or you've been doing this for 6 months now. Why are you not producing the results we want? It's like, well, how have you ever shown them how to do it? Have you ever shown them how to work smarter? Or I know ins and outs of operations. Like I know everything. Unfortunately, like I've worked in that restaurant group since the age of 19. So I have done everything. I have broiled, I have assembled, I have done culinary, I have done every single thing, and I have a degree as well. So my background in it is very like extensive with regards to knowing how I can touch into each person that needs assistance. So Melvin really got to me because I tapped into Melvin. We talked about things. He got better at his job. There's no point in me painting myself to be bigger. For what? I get satisfaction out of making them smarter, and not smarter in the sense of like they're stupid, but making them better rather at their jobs. That's what I get gratification out of, and putting them and spotlighting the things that they are doing well, especially when it comes to Kandi and Todd, because they're not always around. So I think a lot of people do feel how Melvin felt, but I don't think everybody's always going to speak up and say that, because it's very easy to say he's just abrasive or he's this, that, and the other. But Chandrika, Brian, all of them begin to, if I'm not at OLG, they're like, where you at?
I mean, you do be on their stories a lot, and they get excited when you're in the building. Now, you have been working. I've been watching their stories, and you've been greeting. You've been standing at the front. Now, you have been working. So I will say that it's not that they don't like it, because they're not like, here, this bitch go. When they're filming you.
Buddy first, and I wasn't with it. But that's also the shy part of me. Like, people are like, he didn't come in. I'm like, but I'm not the person that walks in. It's like, oh my God, I'm Phillip. What's your name? Like, that's just not my personality. It's never been that way. So
I'm taken aback because if I'm being honest, the conversation with Torin, which I mean, it was catty, it wasn't as bad as I felt like the conversation with Brian, where I felt like it was managers screaming at employees. And I was like, what is this going on?
Brian. Let me tell you, here's the thing, right? Just how you see me unclogging drains. So let's say this: you walk in the restaurant's dirty, right?
Yeah.
It's not my responsibility to sweep. You make money, just like typical serving job. You wait the tables, you wipe them off, you sweep the floor. You ask Brian to do anything, Brian's like, "Oh, your hands don't work." But
I can hear it
over and over again. I'm like, say one more thing. Like, I'm not your buddy. I'm not your friend. I don't know you like that. And I get the charismatic part of your personality. But what they're not going to show is like all the things that led up to that. And then when Kandi and Todd walk in, they're like, why is this that way? I'm like, maybe because your servers aren't doing what you expect of them. If you think I'm going to be the person sweeping every single time, nah, I'm not doing that. That's just not, it's not even sustainable.
So do you feel like what we saw on the show was misleading? Because what we saw was when Brian was there, Dominique was definitely not there. Brian
was putting the work in.
Yeah, he was working. Like, I mean, we saw him doing a lot of work, a lot of other people's jobs.
Right.
And then he got suspended for sitting at the bar, but there was other people sitting at the bar.
Still sitting at the bar.
Yeah, he was making drinks. He was at the front door. He was doing his job. He was doing a lot of people's jobs. And then when we saw he got suspended, we like, well, Dominique is at dance class, and she gave us like 12,000 excuses about what time she gonna get to work.
And that was all in that one episode where he was overworking and Dom wasn't there. And
Brian didn't get suspended for his work ethic. Brian got suspended because of his mouth. Right?
Oh, like, yeah, they said to talk it back. I did get frustrated during that.
That's like anybody though, right? Like, I mean, we've all had bosses before. You pop off to the wrong one. You think it's going to be a dialogue about how you feel. Like, no, you that's not how that works. If I were to be honest with you, in organizations that I've been a part of before, that wouldn't have even been an option. Even if I was valid in how I felt, I would have been fired. We fired people from that. We fired managers because of that. Like, it's just how it worked, you know. But again, this is a different culture, and I had to get used to that. I was a part of something that was very structured. Look, if I never say it, and I won't, but if I told you the restaurant group that I was a part of, you'd be like, got you.
I've been waiting for you to say it because I didn't want to have to dig it up, but we'll wait.
It's a very, very, very known restaurant group who does a lot of shit right.
So the people was pulling out the coins for you to leave, I'm assuming.
Talking about to leave that restaurant group?
I
was done.
Okay.
I was already done. Yes, I do get paid well, but now I just work because I'm still in restaurants just because I want to work for them. But I was already done. They didn't like pull me from that restaurant group or anything.
So are you an independent contractor or are you an official part of the Kandi Burruss? Okay.
I am an independent contractor.
Okay.
For sure. I just look, I'm not even on payroll like that. I don't get paid that way. I don't know their pay structure, their pay scale. That's not how I get paid now.
Mm.
Yes, am I titled as someone who has, a position in their company? Most definitely. But I make that very important because I am a person who to be honest with you, I don't want to work for another individual. This is me working together with them to kind of get their restaurant group together. But I do not ever want to be employed for another person.
What is your what is it that you like? What's your end goal?
Well, I would love to open my own restaurant. I've actually been approached by a few people even since the show's come about to open my restaurant. But I think when you do something like that, you have to be very strategic about who you partner with. Mm-hmm. It's not just about the money, but it's in addition to that, just like your goals aligning. Me and Todd have good communication, even when communication, you got to be able to fight with somebody. If you can bump heads with somebody and still do your job well and still kind of like get to a common ground, to me, that's a really scary space to be in. If you all just have never gotten into a disagreement, I don't trust it. Because the minute you all don't see eye to eye, that can definitely turn a business relationship bad. And I see it happen to too many people who want to go into business together thinking, oh, we're best friends or whatever the case is. It doesn't work like that. Right. So for me, to be honest with you, it's more about the partnership being correct. And I would love to do that with Kandi and Todd when the time presents itself. Just because we've been doing this so far together that I think would be awesome.
Oh, and Brian and Torrin, because you've argued with them too. So everybody that you already know how to deal with them. It's just like all of these people.
Well, Brian got soul rolls. Brian has his own little restaurant.
So bring the egg rolls into the business. It look like all you gotta do is pick it. What feel if this, because I'm not in the restaurant, I do politics. Right. But what type of feel would your restaurant be? Looking at your lighting, it's giving me fine dining establishment. But you could be like, I want to open up a hibachi place. So, like, what would you be going for?
I really wish I could name the last restaurant group. I would go for. I don't want fine dining. No.
Okay.
The way that a restaurant group that I really admired did it was sophisticated yet casual. Right? Like there are certain expectations that they had, but they also weren't so refined where like, you couldn't just run in there and get something to eat that was appealing, but everybody kind of had the same general like dining experience, right? Like aesthetics are great, music is great, lighting is great, service is great, but maybe we just ran in to get a burger, maybe we just ran in to get a cocktail, maybe I actually was taking you on a date, you know what I mean? Like whatever it is.
Talk to me.
There's so many different avenues that it encompassed in one, right? And so it was an American menu that I just, again, feel like I want to kind of embody something that's very similar to that.
Okay.
I love that. That would be cool. Wherever you have your restaurant, I'll be dining. Does the food now taste the same at OLG every day?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay. Burruss said it doesn't. Okay.
No, we definitely have. Trust me, we had a lot. That's the crazy thing too. Like, I'm not even a chef. So like, you talking about like, we had issues with obviously profit. We had issues with food. We had issues with service. We had staffing issues. So like you're talking about across the board on a restaurant group that's not even slow for people that are in the public eye. That's like, you got a lot to fix. Yeah. So like your days, like my days were like crazy and everybody's coming to you because they don't have a resource. If they had a resource, then the restaurant would be getting further along. So you become that resource for everybody. So it's kind of crazy. And then you feel like, well, everybody's looking to me for the answer or result. So I have to provide it. So it makes you, in a sense, honestly, that's a large part of the gratification, right? You're like, I make a difference in it and I make people feel better, but it also can be very stressful. Because to be honest with you, I should have never been sitting in front of Brian talking to him about sitting at the bar. Like, that's not me. I don't have anybody, not saying that that's below me, but why am I doing that? Like,
because Brandon was on his phone texting.
My mom is HR. My mom is HR. That's not me. I didn't necessarily need to be there. Like update me on what's going on, but do I really need to talk to somebody about why you're sitting at the bar? No.
Well, we'll be visiting next Friday on request of our followers, and we'll be eating. So we'll let you and everybody else know.
Not next Friday.
It is next Friday because it's not this Friday. It's next Friday.
Oh, Friday after that. Yeah.
Okay.
Apologize to me.
Oh, so you're gonna have to let me know when you're coming then. But no, even to the point of even if I'm not there, food wise, yes, it is consistent now.
Well, we'll let you know if it is or not.
Wait, I have a question. So we watched this episode this week. The OLG had a cake tasting.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be on the menu. We just looked at the menu, and none of those that it's not there.
Where the pound cake at?
Where's it at?
We just went to we just saw the episode. Okay, the optics are horrible because we just saw the episode, and I was thinking, I want to try how much it costs. We went to the menu, it's not there.
We never added that to the menu. We did test it out to add it to the menu, but we never added it to the menu.
Is it in the works, or like it's just not going to be there?
They said it was dry, so then maybe is it this? We took it off.
Look, you got to focus on. We focus now on the things that are staples and doing those things well, and then you can incorporate new ideas. But we had to kind of, and no one will really see this, but you go through consolidating the menu to focusing again on like, you don't need a wide array of things. You just, if you're gonna have it on your menu, just do it consistently well. That's it. So that's more the mentality that we have now versus like, oh, we need a cool new dessert or we need to change. That's not my focus, at least. So
I got a good question for you, because we asked the subscribers this. So let's ask you this. So we're coming there. What do you think that is the best food that's there for us to try?
Well, I mean, it's a Southern. I think the fried chicken is amazing.
Okay.
Mac and cheese is great. You know, collard greens are great.
Do you know the items by name? Should we quiz you? Whose fried chicken is it? It is on Bertha's. What is Kayla's meal?
Kayla? I don't think Kayla has one on there, does she?
Exactly, and that's the problem. That's what we were trying to get to the bottom of. We just wanted to make sure that we also pointed that out. Kayla doesn't have anything on the menu. Ace even has something. Yes, she does. Y'all got something open. What was the thing we looked at today that was open?
Lamb chops, that we said.
Was it lamb chops? We could have just given her lamb chops. Put Kayla in front of the lamb chops. Even Ace got fish and chips. Like, we could give Kayla the lamb chops.
She could.
Blaze got her own restaurant.
Hey, that's a good point. I'm gonna bring that up to Don Juan and Kandi and Todd and say, hey, this is what the viewers are saying. Kayla needs, and I think Kayla will feel good about that.
Yeah, give Kayla something. And why Nora only got a drink?
At the restaurant, I heard she used to work as a greeter or something.
When she first started, that's what I was hearing all the time, and I wanted to go there to see how, because Kayla was at the front. As soon as you walked in, Kayla used to be there, and now look, she only got nothing on. She put hard work and dedication in there. She didn't even got anything on the menu. I feel bad.
Yeah, and that was a good question too. Why does Nora only have a drink? I
don't even know why they named these after the family. I don't get it. It just name it what it is.
I would love it. I would love it if it was named after just only the old ladies. Now I don't need nothing that Ace likes. Like I'm going for the old lady gang. I would love to have what I feel like is being presented to me, one of their recipes.
Yeah, I guess. But are they actually like creating those recipes? Like the old LGs are not in the restaurants.
I feel like it right now.
I think that was like the selling point for a lot of people. Like, I like Aunt Bertha, I like Aunt Nora, I like Mama Joyce, so I want to try what these people made. So I think it's a good selling point. There were a lot of things that we saw that this didn't have anybody's name on it. So I mean, even if they didn't make it, like they could have just been like, oh, Aunt Nora made this, or this. I think that originally we were thinking like these are the recipes that the OOG made.
Kandi said they changed the recipes.
To be honest with you, they may have. I don't know where they came from in that regard. I don't know.
They didn't give y'all a test before you got there. That's how you create a culture within the establishment. You got to know the history.
No, there's no time for that. What are you talking about? I started like I met Brian. I think I was there like 24 hours before Brian came back. Like, who walked me through the restaurant, and no one showed. Like, no, I just figured it out. I think that's the other thing too. You walk into this establishment that's so established. Who's walking you through things? Like Don Juan, who already wears 100 hats. You think Todd and Kandi like walking? Yeah. They were like, "Hey, here's the menu. Here's the restaurant. Here's the staff."
Well, it does operate. It's for optics purpose. It does look like it's operating as a mom and pop, not necessarily like something that's a part of a restaurant group. It looks like it's operating as a mom and pop. Like, you come in here, read the menu, we sent you out on the floor. Where this was a long time ago when I was a teen, I worked at Denny's, where you had to sit down and learn everything. You wasn't getting out on the floor before you understood every aspect.
The servers, yeah, they go through a training. They definitely go through a training, etc. They do.
So I'm gonna give you two questions from some of the subscribers. One was, who would you say is the best? Who would you say is the best employee as of right now? And what does your perfect restaurant employee look like?
Who is the perfect? to be honest with you, the person that I really rock with the most, just because of his work ethic and how far he's come, is Melvin.
The big Teddy Bear. We all love him, Teddy
No,
Graham.
but I have to, because that restaurant does so much volume, so to be able to like control that, your food costs, control like the food, like he is in that building. It takes a lot when your restaurants are doing close to $100,000 a week. It's a lot to sustain all of that. And so for somebody who really didn't have a lot of support, I think he does an amazing job. Now, all of them are improving, but if I had to say somebody who's just consistently been dedicated and like really made a big impact, Melvin for sure.
No one needs you to bring up Brandon's name because no one thinks Brandon's doing a good job. Like, I want to let you, from the optics, no one thinks Brandon is doing a good job. I think that's one of our questions is, what is Brandon doing? Because it seems like you really do feel like Brandon is doing or improving or working, or what are we not seeing?
Well, I mean, look, Brandon has a very laid back personality, like extremely laid back, right? But Brandon is also a person who you don't ever have to question. I know this isn't everything, but you don't have to question if Brandon's going to show up. I could call, Brandon could be on 10 days straight. I could be like, Brandon, I need you tomorrow. He's like, all right, I'm there. He's not going to show up late. He's not going to leave early. He's going to be at work. Now, again, do we have to work on some of the decisions, et cetera, that he makes when he's there? Of course we do. Do we have to work on like, his involvement with the staff and certain things like that? Most definitely. But as far as like him Brandon, mind you, also controls all the departments that the restaurant runs outside of food. Brandon does scheduling. Brandon does paper order, liquor order, rest stop. He does everything. And I think that's the vast difference between he and Torrin, is that Brandon literally, if I lost Brandon, that's a lot of weight that I have to pick up, because he's managing so much that they obviously, again, they're not putting that on.
They should.
I can help you out with something here. Like when they show those family dinners where they have to put their phone in the middle of the table. I would like, even as an educator, like we have a little bucket for the kids to put their phone in the bucket. I would put the phone in the bucket or in the middle of the table, because if the phone wasn't there, I feel like it might be a little bit better.
You're talking about
they only show him on his phone. Like, we don't get any other scene unless he is with Dom. We don't get any scenes of
once
him.
You get to work, the phone goes
without
away.
his on the phone. Yeah.
But
once you get to work, the phone goes
understand, like it's still television, and you only have an episode that's X amount. Look at Patrick. Like, they show Patrick as this guy who's very aloof, who runs behind Safari. Patrick has his real estate license. Like, yeah, is he the parking attendant? Yeah, but he uses that money and funnels it into other things. Patrick is heavy on his real estate. You know what I mean? I wish they would have shown Patrick getting dressed up,
that's what
going to a house, then maybe meeting Safari at her place and doing those things. But that's just not the narrative, I guess, that they chose to display. But again, you don't see every facet. They show me in a very buttoned up, very like, they don't show my personal life like that. They don't show me in a very relatable sense. They show me as this very like militant dude who's never smiling, and that's just.
They showed you in a relatable sense, and it seemed like your relatable sense said the same thing. They just didn't help you not feel just as structured and strict. I felt like your partner was like, yeah, you mean, and your friend was like, yeah, you mean. So I felt like even showing your personal life, those same people was like, yes, you.
Even your friend was kind of the same way.
Yeah, you were a-hole here, just like you are. I can only imagine, because this is how you are here. I'm trying to pull out what is TV and then what is their real personality. Because to be honest, it does seem like we do get the real you. We saw your partner, your friend. We saw you in the office. Sometimes on social media, you got a clenched jaw and you look serious. And it seemed like that's just how you're living life. But we just see Brandon on the phone. No shade to Brandon. We do see him on the, even in this episode today. I mean, yesterday you said, I know he's gonna show up. Now, what he gonna do when he get here, who knows? But he will show up.
Yeah, but look, that's big. You know how the turnover rate has been? How many managers literally just quit? Torrin was one that quit. And even outside of it, look, I've worked at that restaurant for a however amount of time. There have been a couple times where he's gotten frustrated to the point where he's like, I'm good, and left again. Does he come back? Yeah, but still, like, how many, in my opinion, somebody that walks away one time, I don't trust people like that. You want to come back to our organization, you didn't quit one time, whatever frustrated you to that point is probably going to push you over the ledge again. I've been frustrated to the point where I wanted to leave sometimes, right? And I don't even have to work there. But I still am dedicated to, if I'm going to commit to something, I'm committed to it. I'm not going to walk away from it.
But some people need that little, because you are now you've been a vessel for improvement. Just like you when you asked Brian, like, well, did you come back for me? Maybe people are like, I quit this raggedy place because they didn't have things in order. But now I've heard that Phillip got the things in shape. I'm ready to come back.
My point is, Brandon never left. When all of those people left, he still never left.
That's true.
Even when it was rough and when there was nobody in that building, he was still in there. So.
One of the people in the chat said, "Were you on Love and Listings?"
No, it says Patrick. Who?
Oh, Patrick. I'm sorry.
Patrick on Love and Listings. What is that show?
I don't know what that is.
No.
They do have fried fish. Quiz Marcel. It's Ace's fried fish. We just went down. Oh, I said I was going to quiz you on the menu.
Well, before you do that, Busy though,
I got to pull it up.
You're into real estate too, as well, right?
Yeah, I do residential. Well, yes, in a different way. Like Patrick sells homes. We actually do. We flip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you did show us some dirt and grass like up Real Housewives of Atlanta. I was like, what is he showing? But there was a development that I was about to start.
Oh, we already started. We had to tear it down. So you gotta think how Atlanta is, right? Like Atlanta is full of gentrification. So you're buying these homes. You used to be able to buy them for a lot less, but you're buying these homes, to be honest with you, just for the property. So there was a whole home that was sitting there. But to be honest with you, they're so raggedy that we didn't think we were going to have to tear it all the way down like this, but we had to rip it down to the foundation. So yeah, to be honest with you, that was already $50,000 that was put into just clearing the land. Outside of purchasing it, we've already put $50,000 into a property we haven't even built the foundation on yet. And it took forever. This is only the fourth property that I flipped with this business partner, but they have been doing this for like 10 to 15 years. The process is insane. And then permits as well take forever. Like it took us about 6 months to even get our permits to be able to move forward with the property. So trust me, but when I show you the end of it, you're gonna be like, oh damn.
All those people who was talking about Sheree Whitfield and how long it took, Phillip said it takes a long time to build a house in Atlanta.
But
so
listen,
all y'all talking about how long it took.
Sheree was trying to build her own shit. This isn't me building my own house. This is literally me flipping a home. And so there's a lot that goes into it. I'm taking this, I'm probably at the end of it going to put about $250,000 to $300,000 into this house just to get it back to.
That's how you talk to me. Yes, God.
But I'm going to sell it for a lot of money.
Because there were some modern homes on that road. I like the blue one the most. Not that I go through your stories regularly.
Wait till we finish this one, and when I post it, you're gonna be like, "Wow!" You'll be very.
Can I live in it?
Yeah, it was a pile of shit. it was literally nothing there. Dirt.
I think I saw that you were talking about the reviews on one of the interviews I was watching. I think it was the Suave magazine interview. Mm-hmm. Do you think that the reviews have changed since you've been there?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I hate to say this, but I don't look at them.
Okay.
How do you rate success?
I rate success off of our profit. I rate success off of more of internal things. I think with them, it's very difficult to gauge reviews and associate those to whether it's getting better or not. They're very much in the public eye, and they're following. You're always going to have more people that are going to present a lot of negative reviews. Some people are just not a fan of it. Some people read the stuff and just, to be honest with you, just want to leave a negative review because they just want to. And I just don't have time for that. Those things can be very discouraging when you're trying to make a lot of progress. So I focus on the ones, if it comes across me, then cool, I got you, I'll handle it. But I can't sit up there and read reviews day in and day out. It's just too much.
Do you see a change of the restaurant since you've been there?
Oh, most definitely. For sure.
He said he is the change.
What would you say that the changes have, what would you say that you have seen that has changed?
So, look at how much the restaurant does as far as volume is concerned. I think we still have a long way to go. So I'm not going to speak too candidly about it, but our ticket times, the level of efficiency, our staffing, even the managers were never really privileged to a lot of information for them to be successful, right? They went into there, they did voids, comps, they went tableside when somebody had a problem, and that was it. They understand numbers now because I do a P&L report for them. So they have to present me with numbers every single week. I forward those numbers to Todd once I have every cost, everything from lights to paper to whatever we spent, repairs, everything is taken from that profit, and then or whatever revenue rather was made that week, we pull it out with regards to what we spent, and then here's your profit. So they're much more informed. Even when you look at managers, we have a manager structure now, versus managers just getting paid X amount of money per hour. All of their managers are salaried. All of their managers have paid vacation days within a year. All of them have business cards. All of them have business emails. And there's a built-in trajectory in their company now where consistently there's something for them to work forward to.
Yes,
so you start as a junior manager, this is how much you get paid. You want to work up into a senior manager, this is how much your raise is. We started this in January. I've already given 2 of the managers a raise. It's consistently grooming them to be able to understand that they're working towards something rather, instead of just coming in there every day and doing waiting for somebody to give you $1 or $2 raise. That's not what it's about for me. It's the same structure that I went through that retained me for the amount of time I was with that company.
Can we work towards a backup generator? What's going on with the backup generator?
You know what? So the power doesn't go out like that. And generators are not an easy thing to run. Even when you look at I'm not even gonna get into technical terms, but their circuit right now can't even handle a generator. The restaurant will keep shutting down if I attach a generator to Peter Street right now. And something's off on that grid because that entire area on Peter Street keeps going. It's literally the block will go out. It'll be the sunniest day, and then the power goes out in the whole block. And you're like,
listen, I don't live too far from there, and I told them that already.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but even if we spent the money on a generator, we're really opening up a can that is extremely expensive to fix. It's not as small as just going to a store, getting a backup battery and putting it on the back, being like, all right, power went off, hit the button. No, it doesn't work like that at all. You got a million AC units that are also connected to those same things. It's like if I wanted to go put another AC unit on there, I just can't add another AC unit because the circuit's not going to take it. It's going to keep shutting down.
Phillip said no backup generator, y'all. No backup generator.
But we are working more efficiently with when power goes out, or if power goes out, what do we do in those circumstances?
They got
receipts. So there's a system for that now.
What did you say it was? What was the system? If you don't have, now that the electricity's out, another way to collect checks. I don't work in the restaurant business, but it sounds good when you say it. I can't remember what it was. They was like, well, y'all don't even have this. If the people, they're just gonna run out on their checks because we don't have this system.
They're not running out. If I gotta have somebody standing at the door to be like, you're not running out. Trust me, every restaurant goes through this.
I'm calling the police. I'm leaving. Phillip, get my car.
You don't leave.
Patrick, get my car. I'm leaving, or I'm calling the police.
But look, honestly, this doesn't just happen at their restaurant. This happens at restaurants across the board. So every single time a restaurant's power goes out, you think that that's just get up and leave. No, there's a process to that. The last restaurant group I worked for, same thing. They had a whole bunch of money. And when power went out, we had a system in place on how we manage that process. So
I'm like, oh no, I wasn't eating. I didn't get anything. I was going.
Look, power has literally one time since I've been what we displayed on TV. That's the only time power's gone out. It's never since I've been with them. It hasn't gone out again.
Oh, so you done fixed the power too?
I wouldn't say that.
So diving into your personal life a little bit. I was watching Kandi speak on it, and you said that this was the longest relationship that you ever had. Are you still partnered?
Yeah.
And you said it just worked. It was nothing that was different. It just worked.
Well, okay. It works because he's very driven and very focused on his career as well. So he works for himself. To work for yourself sometimes it's harder to work than working for somebody else, right? Because you can just sit back and keep spending the money you're making and never really get ahead. But he works for himself, and he's also, there's not this pressure on either. I can't leave Atlanta right now, right? Yeah. I'm flipping homes. I'm on a TV show. There's a lot of opportunities that I can't just move to another city and recreate. He understands that no different from I understand what he's doing, in New York right now. It's not something that he can just walk away from. So the idea at some point, when it makes sense for us to live in the same city, if we're still together, then for sure we would do that. But I like him because he's also not afraid to, if Felipe didn't want to be with me anymore, he's a Scorpio. So he's very non-emotional. He's very If I tell him I had a hard day, he's like, "That's life. Like, get over it."
Oh my God, I could never.
But it's true though. You don't always need someone who's just going to allow you to be like, that soapbox. You just get up and just keep on venting to and be like, "Oh my God, that happened to you." He's like, it's a job. It's called work for a reason, And it's not to say that he's insensitive, but he also just doesn't like feed into the negative aspect of it. You ask him if he's having a good day. Every day he's like, "I'm having a good day." It's a choice. You have a good day or bad day. Which one do you want to have?
Come on, Phillip.
So I like the reality of just like the truth in it versus it being this like, "Oh my God, I love you so much. We got to get to the same city right now." Like, no, let's do what we got to do, make our money. When we see each other, we're extremely happy to see each other. Versus being up under someone all the time and being like, "I need a break." Like, that's when people start doing other things, So for me, I think it's been my longest relationship because this is the longest I've even sat in a city, to be honest with you. When I was moving around, you can't really sustain a relationship consistently moving. And nobody takes you seriously like that. So
he's in the hair industry, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Okay, you better let
we travel to, and that's the other thing. When you can start to do business with your partner, it takes, I've never been able to do that. It takes your relationship to a whole nother level. So
what does he travel? What does he do, like, as far as hair?
So he does hair extensions.
Okay.
I mean, I would say that that's the nitty gritty of like how he really makes his money and how he, he has a hair salon in New York. But outside of that, we travel and actually buy. When you see me in Turkey, when I go to Guadalajara, all these like Brazil, we're actually going and we spend a lot of money on hair.
What would you say that y'all's love story is? Like, how did y'all meet? How did that go?
Honestly, it's super corny. It's not even anything that's like this magical story. He was here at a party one time. One thing led to another. We had a good time. Then we just began to see each other more. And I flew to New York, saw him a couple times. He flew to Atlanta. It just kind of happened, but it wasn't really like, I don't know. It just began to work. And I think we didn't stay in that play phase for a long time. We kind of committed. We're like, "Yo, like, I think you're dope, And for me, I think I was more apprehensive. You can tell. So English is Felipe's second language.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Brazil. So Portuguese is his first language. So now we've been together for over a year. His English is much better because we speak English every day.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how it is when you go somewhere and someone has an accent
and
you begin to speak like them in order for them to kind of understand you more clearly, like subconsciously. So I used to do that. And in fact, I saw that on the episode. I was like, "That's crazy." I was like literally almost speaking as if I have an accent and I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, but I was like,
No. Trust me, it's fine. But it's sometimes it's pronouns. It's like instead of him saying like her, he'll say she. Like different things like that are just phrased differently. But now his English is almost too good because he will curse me out.
Come on, Felipe.
Felipe's always twice even on his podcast. If I don't get back to him immediately after this, it's a problem. You know what I mean? And plus,
did you ever learn Portuguese?
What'd you say?
Did you learn Portuguese?
I've learned a little bit, but just like the basics of it. I think in the beginning, he didn't really want me to learn Portuguese because he wanted to really focus on English. His business will go further the more he understands and learns English, for sure.
Do you have like a coming out story? Did you never have to come out? Like, how did that work?
Oh no, I had to come out. It was not easy. You know that best friend that you have that your mom knows is not your best friend because you're just too much into that person or whatever. So, I mean, this has always been my demeanor. I don't think I'm like a very masculine guy. I don't think I'm a very feminine guy. This is just me. But I did have a lot of best friends growing up that when I get obsessed with somebody, I'm into that person.
Yeah.
So, my mom, I think at some point could kind of tell that, this may be your best friend, but there's also something, your mother can just tell. And me and my mom were like super close. So, yes, my mom, she was very straightforward. She just asked me one day in front of my brothers and my stepfather. And I said, I was like, I can either tell her no, or I can tell her yeah. And I told her yeah. And she told me to get out. She told me she was not with it. Like, I'm not.
You asked the question, lady. Oh,
yeah, but it's hard. I look at it. Honestly,
even my light was upset.
Sometimes our parents, I don't know what it's like to have a child, right? But I know what it's like to birth something and think, and that could be an idea, that could be a whatever it is, and it not take on the identity that you had planned for. So just imagine like what you imagine your son to be like, from the minute you give it a name to I think also generationally, my mother was from Pittsburgh. So like, I don't have gay cousins. I didn't have gay people in my family that my mother could kind of connect to. I was the first that she really was like, wow, I have a gay son. And my brothers, I have 2 brothers. My brothers are not gay. So I think for her, it was like, I think she had a tough time dealing with it. And her inability in that moment to understand how to deal with it came across as like, I just can't, you got to go away. But me and my mother we've always had this like weird special bond. So I always knew that we would kind of like always gravitate back toward each other.
How long did it take for y'all to come back around, for her to come back around?
Not long, but we kept hitting bumps in the road, like my mother would accept it. And then she would find moments where she's frustrated. Like you're out and about, or people are always like, who's your son? Or, one of her good girlfriends has a daughter and they're like, oh my God, your son's so handsome. And she, I think in those moments it was hard for her because I don't think she knew how to tell them like he's gay. I don't think she even knew what to do. So those would be moments where we would bump heads again because it was frustrating.
It's an adjustment.
Yeah, exactly. But my mother was like, she began to like really accept every part of who I was once she began to understand more about, just being gay and all those things. And I'm glad that I even had her as a parent to go to because my biological father is from Ghana. So,
my mom is a pastor, so I definitely had to deal with that. It didn't take her a long time because my mom is like my best friend in the world. I think it took like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then she was like, "What are you doing?" So I understand that. I did see the interview that you did also about your, both of your parents passing away. I don't want to really stick on that because you told that story already. So I did want to ask you this: what are your most memorable memories of your parents, and what advice would you give to someone who's dealing with that?
My mom, I mean, they're just too many. My parents were awesome. And when I say I lost both of my parents, my biological father is still living, but my mother and my stepfather have been married since I was 2. So I still had at the time, I had a close relationship with my biological father, but the union that I saw for 2 people that had been married for so long was between my mother and my stepfather. So for them to pass, 30 days apart from each other, which is kind of shocking, not just to me, but it took a toll on our entire family. I can't necessarily pinpoint one thing outside of just their love for each other was very admirable. Like to be able to fight, you've been married that long, you guys grow apart, you grow together, to be able to fight, but just see how they could curse each other out and my mom would still come in. My mom could throw down, she could cook her ass off. So like she would still make sure he ate. And even when, she pissed him off or vice versa, they just cared about each other to this extent of like, they would call me and say, hey, you make sure your mom ate today, or did he go pick up his cleaners? Because I ain't talking to him. But there was a sense of care that they couldn't really deny. So I would say, if anything, just their union together was just very like, I thought that was just really dope. It was a great example to kind of see love. And then as far as advice, man, like I still deal with it now, to be honest with you. And I found comfort in the most random areas, to be honest with you. Some people during that time that I talked to, I found it more comfortable talking to strangers or people that didn't know my mother. I actually distanced myself from like a lot of people who really knew my mother or knew our relationship because I felt like I had to live through it again or I had to talk about it. And no one could fix it. The only thing that they could do to fix it was bring her back. And I had to realize that that's not the reality of it. Like, no one can bring her back. No one's going to be able to say anything that's going to make it better. You just have to. What I began to tap into was like my mother made a lot of sacrifices for me. Both of my parents did. So the times where I kind of related to how Brian felt in his darkest moments, where like I was like, at this point, I didn't have anything else to live for. And I hate to say it because I feel like it dramatizes something, but I was that hurt. Like I was just like, I just couldn't believe that of all things that my mom beat cancer. I had never even experienced anybody dying before. So for her to beat cancer and be, diabetes, she got her vision back, all these things. How does COVID, which no one even understood, take her? Like, it just didn't make sense to us. And then they take them from your life. Like my mom was gone from us for like a month and a half. we didn't see her anymore after after she went into the hospital. And so, they took her off the ventilator and they say, oh, she's going to recover. And everyone's in good spirits. And, you get one point of contact. So I'm calling everybody like, she's coming, da-da-da. They're like, tomorrow we're going to start her physical therapy. She's doing great. And then to get that call at like 2 a.m. and be like, look, she may make it another 10 minutes. That was very heartbreaking for everybody. And you just feel like you just lost control over everything. I felt like I was supposed to protect her and I didn't, So I'm about to plug my laptop in because it's definitely about to die.
I think you did what you could. I lost a parent as well. So I definitely know how it feels. And this was a long time ago. And this was someone who I didn't have a hard coming out story. I told my mom and my dad, and they was like, okay, so what? Why are you crying? And that was it. There was nothing else to it. And I do have like little moments of it wasn't my biological father is still alive, somewhere living in his regular life. But it was my stepfather who my mother had married for a long time, and that was like my dad. And I still get little glimpses of knowing that they're proud and trying to do something in honor of them. Like, do you think that your new restaurant or something, how do you feel like you'll continue on the legacy if you feel like you would?
Well, my mom, honestly, that was the crazy thing. My mom was like the most proud mother. She's like, you are, even, like we don't always see ourselves or how other people see us. But my mom could tell me like, she's like, you are so handsome. And I'd be like, Mom, what? Like,
stop.
Even anybody to say that, to hear your mother just like, you could really feel the love in it. I was just like making her proud and like the smallest things that I did. She was always proud of me. So I don't think there's anything that I have to do to kind of like make her feel more proud. But I would love to. I actually like saved all of her like old cookbooks. Back in the day, like your grandma used to write down a recipe and they pass that down, like a postcard and all these things. So I literally have it like this huge book of just all these different recipes that she had. So I always wanted to, if I, when I do rather open my restaurant, a way to kind of just pay some respect to like how great of a cook she was, et cetera, is to kind of reinvent some of those recipes and have some. I don't cook, so it's not gonna be.
I was about to say, so you be cooking?
I don't even have a pot and pan set at all. I don't cook.
Oh wow.
I don't cook.
How do you get food?
I'm a restaurant consultant. I'm actually, look, I'm one of these people that actually enjoys eating out. And it doesn't have to be fine dining. I know my little spots that I go to. I should eat pretty healthy for the most part. So I enjoy that more than getting in this kitchen. And I hate going to grocery stores, buying no, it's just not my thing. Not at all.
What's your favorite restaurant to eat here in Atlanta?
Houston.
I don't take that out of the situation.
I heard about Houston's. Everybody, let's go to Houston's, Deb. Who paid for that? Is it a lot of money?
So here, I'll give you a little hint. I just dropped a gym.
Okay, very good. I took it in.
I read about it, but you kept saying something, so I didn't want to say anything.
We keep the anonymity.
Huh?
You've never been to Houston's?
No.
Wow.
I live in DC. I
don't really eat. I don't eat out a lot.
There's it's in Bethesda, but it's called Woodlawn Grill.
I have not been there.
Yeah. Called what?
And there used to be one in Georgetown, actually. I don't know how long you lived in DC. But
what's it called?
I've been 12 years.
Yeah,
what's it called?
And we're in DC?
Mm-hmm.
It's called Woodmont Grill.
Let's go to Woodmont Grill. I'm going to try it. But let's go to Houston's when I get there. That would be great. Yeah, and then I could look at the menu and see how much money Phillip was spending.
You got money. I know you got money.
Who, me? I'm broke. I tell the people I'm broke. I don't have a dime to my name. All of this is fake.
Yeah, okay.
So do you want to ask some of the questions, Deb, from we don't want to keep them too long, but from our viewers?
Yeah, go, because I only have one more question, but I want to end it with that. So you can go ahead and ask those questions.
Oh, excuse me. Well, I have my own question. I haven't even looked at any of the viewers' questions yet. I only looked at my own questions.
You asked me to send it to you.
No, I did, but I have my own questions I wanted to ask Phillip because it's been so long.
Ask them.
So one of the questions that these individuals, these are really bad questions. Okay, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I think we already.
I don't know. I'm not that kind of guy, to be honest with you. I'm not like this planner that says in 5 years I want to be here. I work hard. I have a very good work ethic. I have great relationships that I built with a lot of people. So wherever I see myself, wherever I end up in 10 years, I never thought I would be here doing what I'm doing now. This was 10 years ago. So I'm just excited about the unknown of where I will be in 10 years, but I know it'll be somewhere awesome.
What do you like to do as in like your social life? Because the show makes it seem like you have a very boring social life where these people are living fast paced, they're with each other, one's dancing, the other one's with this girlfriend. She gotta be they're out there having fun, they're having drinks, and you're like, I see you at work. What do you do?
In my personal life, like I mean, I travel. I am very dedicated to like building a life of like, I don't like to work paycheck to paycheck, let alone like year to year. If I wanted to stop working right now, I would be solid in that. But I get a lot of gratification. I like working. I enjoy working. I enjoy making money. Money makes and opens a lot of opportunities for you. So I spent my money on a tremendous amount of. I'm very materialistic in a lot of ways. I like nice things. I have a nice car. I have nice things that, again, I waste my money on. But more specifically, I like to take my money and open up other doors. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's the beautiful thing about consistently having a work ethic. Look at Kandi. Kandi is a great example of that, okay? Kandi has a lot of money. She's done a lot of great things. But when I tell you, this woman works like every day. Like she's in LA, she's in New York, she's doing she gets up at 7 a.m. And you would never think Kandi has 2 little kids. Outside of her grown, you would never know, like, wow, she's a mother, a wife. And in addition to that, she juggles all the things she does because she enjoys making money. I'm kind of very similar in that aspect. I don't know if like sitting back and just like, it's cool and all, yeah, but I'd rather like sit around some people that want to bring something to life, you know? A friend of mine and I are working on a men's furnishings line. It costs money to do that. You know, like if you really want to get your dreams and goals into place, then you have to kind of like really push for it. And you have to I want to fund it myself. I don't like to wait on other people or have doors closed because I have to wait for the finances. I want to keep opening up opportunities for myself. So I work a lot for sure, but I can also work when I want to work.
Cash at me $100. Let me see if you're telling the truth.
$100. I probably lost $100 somewhere today. I don't think.
Oh, whoa! Excuse me. Sorry, 1,000. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect you. I didn't mean to disrespect you. My bad. All right, that was my last question.
Wait, what do you mean? Questions are bad. People asking really not nice questions.
No, so.
We got one more that was underneath the post with the questions that came in like an hour ago.
They wanted to know why you was trying to make Dom relocate and y'all didn't immediately say, Brandon, you gotta move because you kissing on the employees.
Well, okay, to be very honest with you, we talked to both Dom and Brandon about it, right? And although Dom is just a big personality, right? So Dom's gonna make it all about Dom. But Dom understands it. With regards to Brandon's very focused on his career, and he's doing so great there. To be really the thing that's anchoring Peter Street and anchoring that location together, like why take him out of that in order for you to just bartend?
Because Dom said she didn't really do nothing. She said, I was just kissing him in the back.
But to the point, it was a decision. She was not forced to do anything. It was a conversation that we all had. She understood it. Now, did she want to kind of stay at OLG? Yeah, but I think Dom going over to Blaze, taking her out of this element that she's been stuck in for so long is great for her. It spotlights her. Blaze is a very nice restaurant, aesthetically and everything. It's still new. So I think she's going to do it. It's not, though. And she's going to make
Is she showing to work up on time, though?
Maybe now, since Brandon's not managing her, she will.
No, see? They said, why you ain't keep the same energy? I'm just saying, these are what the people want to know.
Oh, go ahead.
These are what the people want to know. Okay, all my questions was very loving towards you. Okay, so these are what the people want to know. They said, why you ain't keep the same energy for Brandon kissing on Dom like you did for Torrin, Chandrika, and Brian? You did sit down like y'all was friends when it seemed like the only thing that Dom want to do is look at the ring camera. When he pulled out the ring camera and y'all was talking to Brandon, y'all did seem like, okay, hey, buddy,
you got to think about it like this, right? Like from a perspective of like a business perspective, then yeah, that's not cool because it opens up a lot of doors. That's like, that's a sticky situation. the optics on it. But why it was difficult was also like the owners didn't really have a problem with it. So how can I really like, you know, like it was kind of like
they didn't have a problem with the other people, and you said Chandrika home first day.
They did have a problem. That was brought to my attention. They were like, actually, I think it was Aunt Nora. She was like, Chandrika talked to me crazy. I don't really appreciate that. They didn't show. I mean, some of the stuff they're not going to show. But I was like, okay, fine, I'll talk to her. Like, I don't know.
Are y'all having another team building? Because I didn't like this first one. It just really it didn't build the team to me.
You don't think it built
no, those little 3 little games. I needed a little bit more. I felt like something was missing.
Those games were good, I thought. I mean, I gave Torn a high five. I don't think I've ever given anybody a high five.
Yeah, because you don't smile and stuff. And you have really nice teeth. I don't understand. Did you ever try modeling? Somebody did ask that. Did you ever try modeling? And what happened to that?
I did, but it just wasn't my thing. I think I never looked at myself as that. It just a lot of opportunities came my way. Actually, you guys will see something that's kind of funny in the next. We have 3 more episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So something will come about that's associated to this topic. That's actually pretty cool. Just tune in for it. You'll see what I'm talking about. But anyways, I did do modeling. I used to do a couple commercials.
Are you gonna give us a sneak peek? Like, what's happening? Are you gonna have your shirt off? Like, what is it? We do have to see Patrick with his on.
Well,
So
in this, you will see. You'll see how back in the day when I used to do my physical modeling. You'll see a lot of my body in this. Unfortunately, it was something that happened to me that I didn't know that they were going to be able to dig this up, but they got me.
Why is it unfortunate?
I don't know. It just kind of caught me off guard, but it was just, again, you know, you do things when you're younger that are great opportunities or whatever the case is. So I'm more of like this business guy that's very professional, et cetera. So when this kind of got brought into
they pulled up Kwesi and you're like, no, I'm Phillip now, y'all. I didn't mean to do that. That was a long time ago. Which establishment do you like working at the most? One of the old ladies or Blaze?
I like old lady gang. I like Peter Street location. I love Blaze. Blaze is beautiful. Blaze is just not extremely busy, right? So you know it just hasn't picked up that traction yet. I like Peter Street because Peter Street is volume. So you're managing like the money's coming through there. Like it's just like go. You got so many things that are pulling you. It's kind of exciting to be in that environment. So I like them both.
Can you tell us? And this is what the people want to know.
Who are the people?
What did Don Juan want with that straw in today's episode? Can you please can you just explain to us what was this?
I was like, how many times did he say, I need a straw? Give me a straw.
What was going on with the straw? What did he need it for?
We were just trying to unclog the drain. There was something that was going on down there, and we were like, all right, better. We can just get something to puncture this. We were trying
I told you that's what it was.
Yeah, I felt like he was trying to slurp something up or push it through. I just didn't understand because he was very persistent. You could have got an ice pick. You could have got a thermometer. He was like, straw.
Mind you, you got to think. We don't tap into the fact that there are cameras, but we tap into, oh shit, there are cameras. Mm-hmm. So we got to fix this now because we know that if we don't fix this right now, it's about to leak into, there's like an event space downstairs. It's about to go bad. So like, I think when we both looked at it together, like, we need to puncture this. So Don Juan was like, I'm like, what do we puncture with? And Don Juan was like, because you had to find the right thing to fit y'all what we were trying to puncture.
But wasn't y'all was at the bar though, right?
Yeah, so it was a drain. It was a cover that was over.
So they had those little picks what they used the olives with for the dirty martinis. Like
he needed something longer.
No, but you needed something that was wider than that to actually make it where the water could drain through it. Like the little toothpick things would have just punctured it small. So we needed to really get through all the little holes on the drain so that the water could actually start flowing through it.
Oh, that's ghetto. That is so. And you saw where Brandon was during all of this. He said they don't need my help. Phillip gonna love me either way. Okay, that's what Brandon said. But we did need to know why. And do you not think, because you've been smiling so much here, you know, and the people don't see a smile or your teeth, you don't think there's a camera you? Because I feel like camera you is like, and then not camera you is like, you seem so happy, so jovial. Like, I like this, Phillip. Not that I didn't like the other Phillip, but still.
You guys have to understand. Okay, let's do this, right? You want to paint a picture of something, right? You can't do both. So whatever ended up, like, however it began to kick off, we all kind of began to be magnified in that way. Like, especially the first year, I was like, damn, like, they're making me seem like I'm just like, they don't show anything that I do that's even associated to really like why I'm so important for the restaurant group. Even if I decided to leave right now, it would be shitting on so many people because I'm actually, and it's not an ego stroke, I'm just very impactful. I work a lot, I work hard, I'm very committed to them like getting better. So even, it's not a Kandi and Todd commitment, it's the people that work in their organization that really rely on you to kind of like get further, you know, and they deserve it. They put a lot of time in even before I came. So for me, again, the camera spotlight's like, yeah, the
seriousness
and yada, yada, yada. But then I think they
put your time sheet in.
Yeah, but I don't walk around smiling. I mean, I don't walk around smiling like that.
Where's Drinker? She's not at the door. It's just very serious. Who's at the bar? So I'm just wondering why they don't amplify that aspect.
I got a good question. So when y'all was at this housewarming, and Brian was singing, and you gave this face.
That's God.
What was your thought that was going through your mind at this point?
I mean, I thought it was a very interesting dynamic. You know, you got Torn that put on this event. We probably could have helped him out with some furniture. I mean, the restaurant was right there.
Y'all did. That's how the tables got there.
Yeah. And then even the choice of Amazing Grace. But I'd never heard Brian sing before, so it was, you know, it was cool to hear him sing. I just felt like, I don't know, maybe we could have done a different song. I don't know, something. And then it was like a very long rendition of it. Like it was
15
like,
minutes.
Yeah, it was going on and on and on. But look, look, for somebody to be standing up in front, I can't sing. So to be able to stand in front of a group of people, Brian's not shy. He's going to do what he does. I think my facial expressions, they always tell me about my facial expressions are horrible. If I'm not talking or laughing, I literally just have the most like blah face, or, you know, it's a very like puzzled look on my face. So yeah, I don't reach too much facial expression because it didn't connect to what I was thinking. He did a good job, and, you know, again, I went to support two people who Patrick called me and asked me to come to it. And
what made you? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what made you show up to that? Because they was like, you came to the party.
Yeah, I didn't even see you come in. We just saw you eat egg rolls like at one point.
Was I?
Yeah. They didn't even show you enter the building. It was just like, oh, Phillip's here.
I came because Patrick called me and was like, yo, Phil, I'm having this housewarming. Will you come? So on some level, like, I don't really consider fraternizing with like Patrick and Mel. Like, they're having a housewarming. Why not go support instead of, you know, I got to interact with these people on a daily basis. I may not go to a bar and have a drink with the staff, but why can't I come to your housewarming, especially considering it's right behind Old Lady Gang? Like, oh, this is dope. They were so excited about it too. Like, they got this new spot. Like, they wanted me to come. So I was like, why not go support?
Did you sit on the bean?
I was standing the whole time. I was standing the whole time.
I was trying to figure out why Torrin didn't get chairs instead of those tables from the old.
Look, he had to steal what he could back. He had to take what he could from the Old Lady Gang. Look,
I'm not even going to comment on that. I'm not going to comment on that. Torrin's, you know, that was his vision for it.
People want to know this. So we asked Torrin this.
Tell the people.
What is it? What is this thing between you guys? Like, it's like there's like this love-hate situation that's going on here.
There's a tension there.
I don't even know how to describe that. I've helped Torrin enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Torrin has actually put on a couple events that have not, you know, since the show aired, etc. Mm-hmm. And the part that I helped him on was, again, the profit. I'm not in a position to try to make anybody look bad. So I'm not even going to speak to, you know, what happened in those moments or anything of that sort. That's not the point of it. I just think that in some ways I wish Torrin, I think a good moment for him was people being in favor of him in that disagreement that he and I had. And so he's going to run with that. So I think the fact that he's choosing that outside of side conversations in moments where I've been very supportive of him, he chooses to, kind of stay, in my opinion, on this narrative of me maybe not speaking to him in the most professional way or approaching him in a very abrasive way. That's what he wants to latch on to versus some of the alternative, which is situations that are maybe not camera worthy or whatever that have even transpired between us. I think that for me, there's two different torrents. There's a torrent that's going to go with the storyline that's favorable. And then there's a torrent that's going to, on the side, be like, all right, bet, yeah, we're good, but that's not really in favor of what the storyline on TV is. And that's the hardest thing to differentiate, to be honest with you. It's like, sometimes I'm like, I know that this TV show is not scripted, but like some people are like a TV person, and then some people switch into how you are, like when you interact with him on a daily basis. And I think he's just one of those persons that I don't really know if I could see eye to eye with Torrent outside of, we communicate because we work together. But I'm how I am. People know what they're going to get when they see me. And when they meet me, I'm very consistent with that. Once they get to know me, they understand my intentions and they see that I'm actually a good person. And again, there are too many situations outside of work. Not too many. There's been at least 2 situations with Torrent outside of work where I was very supportive in ways where I didn't have to be. And instead of him, again, looking at those moments as like, all right, bet, I see your character in that. In my opinion, he just has chosen to kind of like get into that. So there's a lot of things that would never be spotlighted. And I don't, that's not anything that I need acknowledgement from. But when you work with people who don't always have, maybe the best resources, sometimes that's financial, sometimes that's even beyond that. And you can help someone, because I was that way when I was younger, then you help them. And I've done that for a lot of people in their organization. There was somebody who was in a very bad situation, was actually going to be incarcerated for a very long time. And I spent my own money in conjunction with talking to some persons at that time that were running for political positions. And we helped navigate him out of that. I was on stand helping him, hey, I'm a support system for this person. They're just, again, things that are not even associated to my role, that when you are working for an organization that gives people who have challenging positions in life second opportunities, you take on these responsibilities. And I feel gratified in that, because if I can do something about it, then why not I can't help everybody, but yeah.
Was Melvin going back?
No, it's not a cast member.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but I'm just saying, in general, it's, again, we all have had struggles in life. We've all made bad decisions in everybody's life. Just because we don't always talk about them doesn't mean that we can't go through things that are relatable, especially as, Black men and Black women. We all have certain things that we've gone through that we can identify with. So Torrent, again, just back to the point, there are moments where I've been very supportive of him, and I find it very difficult to kind of like connect with him in a very like real way. I'd rather him say, look, I just don't like this about you. And I say, I don't like it. And trust me, we've had it out. Like we have had it.
Believe it.
I mean, you see camera, but we have been in the settings where it's just a few of us in there and we have gone at it. And in those moments, I try to be as transparent as possible so he knows how I feel. And even on the level of like, Pisces, some people can be very guarded. So if I tell you hurt me, like that's actually a big statement in some ways, So for me, I just am very like, you're not going to get the opportunity to kind of do that again to me. So I definitely have a little bit of a wall up with him because I just don't fully trust him.
Yeah, once you're out with a Pisces.
It's hard, right? Because we're very emotionally driven. We're very like, I don't know about that. Like,
once you're out. Okay, I see you for who you are. Okay, and then this is where you stay. I hope y'all get back together. You don't move chairs for the man. I hope y'all do. y'all able to connect.
I hope so too. And that's like the beauty of life. You never know what's going to happen. You always have to see people for who they are in that moment. And I think that's why I've been able to get as far as I've gotten with a lot of the people in this organization, is they didn't attach me to just our initial interaction and vice versa. We see each other for how we are in this moment of getting to know each other and what we contribute now. And that's why we're able to kind of still maintain really good relationships.
I think seeing the playback of the show maybe will change some things. I think people get the chance to see how, you know, things have went or how they are portrayed on things, and maybe that will work out, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I have a question. How has the fanfare been about you looking so good? Do the people come into your DMs? Are they coming into your comments? Are you overwhelmed with the people being like, "Oh my God, he's so attractive"? What is that like? Regular life? Has it been like your regular life? It's like, oh no.
I'm gonna be honest with you, right? I'll be very honest with you. I don't see myself for how other people see me. Right. So a lot of other people, if you don't feel good about yourself internally, and that's been something I've been working on, especially this past year being so rough with losing my parents, I actually didn't take care of myself. When I see even myself on TV, there's a lot of moments where I just see neglect. Like I wasn't working out, I wasn't eating well, I was drinking, I was smoking, I was doing a lot of things that at the end of the day were like tearing me down.
Yeah.
And so when you don't feel good inside, no matter what people say about you from an outside perspective, it feels great. But you have to first and foremost have that confidence within, because if you don't have that, no matter what other people think of you, you're never going to be, good here. And so for me, it's very encouraging to like have people say that, but just from, because some people even say like, they've even notated that they think that my relationship with like Brian or how I approach him is because he's flamboyant or like, that's part of this thing. I get a lot of people who message me about that. Like, you just don't like Torn, or you just don't like Brian because they are not as masculine as you. And it's like, it just shows that you really have no idea who I am. Like people will take you from how they perceive you from an aesthetic perspective and gauge your character. And I'm like, if you ever saw me out, I'm literally in my own space. I'm not the life of I'm a very introverted person. I talk to the people I know. And once I get comfortable with you, like, honestly, I had to watch you all a few times. Just no, like your podcast. This is like literally the second interview I've done. I did Swab and I did you guys. I get people that DM me all the time and reach out to me, but I had to get comfortable with you guys. And I watched just how to be honest with you, you're very charismatic. I like that about you. It seemed to be very easy to talk to. So I was like, all right, bet I can just get on here and talk to them. And even if they're in favor of me or not, I feel like it would be I felt comfortable to a point. So
I just said I would chase him off because of my lust. See, the people don't know.
No, when you did respond though, you did say, y'all seem cool, I'll do it. And
no, it's true though. I had to watch it. I actually watched both of the interviews that you had done prior just to see like, how are you? And it was more about just like your personalities that made me feel comfortable. I was like, oh, they're dope. So that's why I wanted to do it. But outside of that, I'm pretty like to myself, I got my best friends and I'm good.
I understand that. I'm introverted too, unless I'm around people that I know.
I'm an introvert as well. I hate people.
You are definitely not an introvert. I'm extremely introverted, but if I'm comfortable around you, you wouldn't know that. But when I'm around somebody,
people think that when you're introverted like that, if they find you attractive, they think you're stuck up, or they think you're like it's like, no, I'm probably nervous. I just don't want to talk to you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not that at all. So
people think I have the resting bitch face.
Restaurant, people like noticing me, and I can hear it before anything, right? And I'm like, I literally be like this. They be like, you can smile sometimes. It's like, yeah, but maybe I'm just like nervous walking through here. I don't.
That's true.
I used to be able to walk through there and no one knew who I was.
Yeah.
Now I walk through there, it's like, it's a lot. You don't like attention like that. I don't like attention like that. Yeah, but I'm working on me.
Do people tell you that you have the resting bitch face too?
No one's ever used that term, but I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, they tell me that all the time.
Like very like focused and very like, or like I'm angry. So people be like, why you look so mad? Just smile. Like, you got nice teeth. Just smile. I'm like,
you do have amazing teeth on those veneers. You have the most amazing smile.
These are not veneers. People always inbox me too. Like,
who did your teeth? Where'd you go?
I had to stop arguing with people on Twitter and stuff because they just be saying stuff. You be like, shut up. You don't even know me.
They don't look real. It's just like a body, a smile, a life, a cheekbones, a perfection.
Braces, like everybody else.
That's money well spent, and you kept them up. Mama, I'm sorry because I didn't keep mine up.
Look, I got a hat on because I had to have. When I went to Turkey last time, I had whole hair transplant surgery and everything. Like, I'm older now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally have to.
You're only 36.
Yes, but things don't sit the way they used to. I mean, this shit used to wake up feeling great and you got to preserve these things now. Doctors and all types of stuff I see now. Like,
so what's your workout regimen? Because you don't cook, so you're not meal prepping. Does somebody do your meal prepping? Do you get up and go to the gym and then somebody brings you food? Like, what's your? Because your arms aren't like mine. So what do you do?
I barely go to the gym now, but
These are the lies, and I'm not sitting here listening to this. No. Ain't nobody's genetic. These are the lies. Go ahead. So do this real quick.
Listen, it's genetics. I'm telling you. I'm being honest. In a month, I've probably been to the gym maybe 5 or 6 times. I kid you not. I barely have time for it.
For who's James Hercules? There's no way. There's no way. I don't got no more questions because now we get into the lying portion of it.
But now I make time for it. Now I make time for the gym. Like even if I gotta go late at night or whatever the case is, I used to love running. All those things that like are just in favor, I try to make time for them now.
Okay, so we'll go running when I get there next week.
Okay, I'm down for sure.
It's a lot to do.
Don't say it and then you want to go. You talking about going Houston, going running, all these things.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there for almost a week. I'll be there for like a week. Yeah.
All right, bet we got time, man.
Yes, we will be running, and then y'all just keep going when I stop. Tell my mama I love her. Don't look back. I don't want to minimize what y'all work out. So
I'm
keep going when I'm done. Question. So the next season, if this show continues, will it only? I know you're not a part of production. But will it just focus on the people who work there? Like, will we get more of the girl who want the menus wiped down? Because she was very serious about the menus being wiped down. And I want more of her and the menus being wiped down. What's the girl's name? She's the server.
Marie.
We want more of Marie. She was like, who's wiping down the menus? What's going on with the menus? Will we, like, how does this work? Are we only going to be focusing on y'all now? Or is it?
Well, look, I'll tell you this much. If there's a season 2, which you guys will probably find out a little bit about this towards the end of the season of this season. But I don't know if everybody is going to be on season 2.
Okay.
You'll have to kind of see who's not going to be on season 2 if there was one. But let's just say you would have to be a part of the restaurant group in order to still be.
True.
So some changes will just naturally kind of happen as they have. But I think that they will see a lot more of our personal lives if there's another season. Which would be pretty awesome. I think for them to dig a little bit deeper into like who we are, just to see us outside of work.
We want to see you smile. Let the people see you smile on your jeans. Do you know? Have you heard any rumblings of a reunion or a makeshift reunion?
You know what? You never know how any of this is going to pan out. I think that they present ideas. A lot of stuff is some of it's ratings based. Some of it is like, do we need to have one? What is it? I think we. First few episodes, we were trailing. What was that? Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion.
Oh, you can't beat them, and no, that's scandals.
So whenever there's like a reunion and you're following that, then it's kind of a hard thing to kind of compete with. Then what we have, like, it was either Oscars or Grammys. On like,
oh yeah, you can't be Will Smith smacking people.
So. But overall, I think that we have a certain authenticity within the show. I think that our representation, even when it comes to Black gay men being on TV, interacting with like heterosexual, like all these things that honestly I'd never thought about them until the audience kind of brought it to our attention on like, hey, this is what even when I first got asked that question, I was like, what? They're like, how do you feel representing like masculine gay men? I was like, I represent. What are you talking? Like, you're not even thinking about that. You're like, what? And then a lot of people reached out to me just like, hey, great representation on this. And it was like, wow, things that you never even considered are that's kind of dope, like, so maybe there is something for that. And then even people tapping into the fact that we're not like the hairdresser or the like, the person ready for getting the star girl on the show ready for whatever it is, or the Judy, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, all right, bet I guess we are like the people on it in some way, so I thought that was kind of cool.
It makes me happy. Hopefully there is a reunion and we are there to see it be filmed. I want to be in the audience saying, boo!
Well, I appreciate you all support and everything. And
I got your back. Like, get behind me, Phillip. Okay, they gotta go through me first.
But no, I mean, even just like watching the show and like digging into that, because it's like there's so many things in the world that people could care about and be interested in. So when people are genuinely interested in like knowing you and watching your show, etc. I mean, look at TV now. There's so many things that you can watch on TV.
Yeah,
when you have that kind of support, you can't really take that for granted, regardless of who our owners are and their presences. They didn't have to watch her show. They didn't have to tap into even the people that were on there. So to be 7 episodes in and to really still even have, for me, it's like it's just a cool thing. I think that's the bond that all of us will always share. Regardless of how many seasons we get from it. It's like, all right, bet this was a really cool experience.
Have you signed the autograph yet?
No, I'm not doing that. That's crazy.
Really?
People literally ask me. I'll be like, I'm not signing anything. That's like weird. That's odd.
They just take
That's
selfies
what
now.
people do.
They take selfies now.
People also ask for autographs.
I don't think I've asked for
Everybody
autographs.
wants to take a picture. Everybody.
I bet you I pick a Polaroid and say sign it now, Phillip. now that we've taken this photo together, please put your signature right here. Sign on the back. Say I love you so much. You're my #1 fan and can't wait to see you again. Write it on the back.
Imagine yourself being on a TV show and then being like, all right, bet, let me get your autograph. Let me take a picture with you. Like, you'd be like,
oh my God, yes. So first of all, I've arrived. I came out the womb signing autographs. You're welcome. You're welcome. I think way too highly of myself. What was the last question, Dan?
The last question was, what do you think your biggest misconception that people have of you on this show?
Oh, that I'm just mean, like I'm an asshole.
And that's not true, even though Felipe and your best friend said it.
No, I'm not. I'm honestly, I may say things in a very curt manner sometimes, and I definitely have like I'm very strong-minded for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like an asshole or mean, like even if someone walked by me or was like in my presence, you're not gonna get, oh, like he's an asshole at all. You'd be like, any person that I've crossed paths with, they're always like, you're actually not, you're nice. I was like, yeah, because again, you see something through a TV screen that's magnified. Someone caught a glimpse of every time somebody pissed you off and put a whole bunch of clips together, then yeah, you're gonna look like some crazy asshole. And yeah, I don't just walk around smiling all the time, but I don't know.
I would with teeth like that. You wouldn't be able to see me not smiling.
Huh?
I said with teeth like that, I would never stop smiling.
You would. I mean, who walks around just smiling for no reason? They'd be like, what the fuck are you smiling for?
I'd be like, do you see these things? You see
I
why
think
I'm
learning
smiling?
that you are an introvert actually adds into that too. So that makes a lot of sense.
Most definitely, for sure. It's like the attention thing. Like every time somebody's in there filming too, they're like, Don Juan will literally be like, hey, Kandi and Todd want to see you upstairs. And I'm like, I used to literally be like, all right, what's going on? And it's always because they don't want to tell me that they're about to film me. They just want me to come in to see me. They know I will avoid it every single time. I even had to get out of that with like taking pictures with people because it's like, hey, these are people who are supporting you. Every single time somebody wants to take a picture with you, you can't be like, no, I don't want to, I don't want to take a picture. Da, da, da. It's like, yeah, you got to be nice. You have to be.
Y'all need us if y'all need a season. If y'all want to see
you're right.
picture
You're
inside.
Right. You gotta want to take pictures. I don't.
Yeah. And that makes sense. Like I was telling him before we did the interview, I was like, can you please be here on time today? Because I can, like, I'm so introvert. Like, I don't know what to say. I'll just be like, hey, what's going on?
No, I feel you.
He comes with all the energy.
No, I have no filter.
Yeah, you have a dope person. And look, you see how you're all like, you seem like a very energetic person, right?
Yes.
So like how you are naturally just that way. It's just like how other people who are naturally just like subtle and laid back, they're that way. Like there's different levels to all of us. There's just
my partner's like that, the very opposite, the very extreme opposite. I don't know how we're in a relationship. That's how introvert he is.
Like very, very quiet.
Yes, not saying anything. I think he's wrote 2 things in the chat. Like it's just very to himself. All right, so before we get out of here, I do want to quiz you on the menu.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay, we're about to put you on the spot. Okay, so someone has a Deep South Long Island iced tea. Who is that?
Wait. Is that on Bertha?
And it's Aunt Nora.
On Nora? Oh, okay.
Aunt Nora, yes.
Long
okay,
Island?
it's a Long Island iced tea. It's a Deep South LIT.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
He said no. He wrote like 4.
Oh, my boyfriend. Yeah. Oh, sorry, he wrote 4. All right, who has the barbecue rib tips?
Let me pull this menu up. I don't.
Ah, you cannot. There's no cheating here.
The barbecue rib tips. That's Bertha.
It's Mama Joyce. Bertha got one thing on this menu, and you think she got a million. It's Mama Joyce's barbecue rib tips. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Okay. The next one is whose fried chicken is it?
Kenny.
It's on Bertha's fried chicken.
I said that earlier.
You definitely said it.
But all these names, it don't even. I don't. But it's just odds. They all got something on the menu. I don't even think one of the ones who drink.
Fine, somebody put him on probation. Candy. Okay, we got one more. Whose chicken and French toast is it?
Is that Candy's?
No, it's Mama Sharon's. Todd's. You like Todd so much. We can't see. You know, you really explained to us why you deserve to be there, and you just took it all away.
Why do I have to take credibility for the names on the menu? I didn't create that menu.
That's true. That's true.
That's not me. That was what? Mm-mm.
Bonus, whose shrimp and grits is it? It's Raleigh's shrimp and grits.
That's too much. All these names.
Whose cheeseburger is it? This is an easy one.
There's a Todd's margarita. I know he got a margarita.
I was gonna ask that one, but that one seems too simple. But this one is easy too. Whose cheeseburger?
Ace.
OLG.
Okay, great.
Close us out, Deb. I can't.
Let me ask you guys this: what would you want to see more of? Like, what would gauge you more through the show? Like, what is your perception of the show, or certain things that you feel like would be like, you know, more, not necessarily captivating, but just like from an angle perspective of like, hey, this could have been or can be more intriguing.
For me, I would like to see y'all's personal life outside of the restaurant. I mean, I know y'all work there, but I would like to see what y'all do outside of that restaurant.
I want more of that, and I want to see more. I want to feel like this. The co-workers are a group of friends. Like other shows similar to this show, you could tell that they hang out and they are a group of friends. This one seems like they're makeshift buddies. And not necessarily that they truly are friends. Sometimes I feel like it's awkward when I'm like, why is Brandon asking Brian to come and chill with him at the restaurant? Like, it's just, y'all not going out to the bar. It's just some things don't seem authentic or organic. And I wish it flowed more, and it was a little bit more organic. And I want to see more of you all's personal life, and the work that you're doing as a team. I want to see the stress of work outside of the toilet not working. I want to see the stress of who's not bringing out the food fast enough, who's not seating them. I did like the work stress that was happening when Drinker would leave the post, and it's like, well, who's signing the people in? I did like seeing the work stress. I just feel like there was a cohesive thing that was happening in the first 4 episodes, and now it's kind of losing it because I don't like Safari. And that could be a part of it. But I want to see more of your personal lives. I want to see the interconnection of your friendships, the intertwining of that, in combination with the actual working day-to-day work stress. Where the money going out? Who's not doing their job? What drinks are wrong? Who's not doing the cooking right? I want to see all of that.
I got you.
Well, I want to ask this since you asked that though. So, because you were saying that, you know, about the front ends with the workers, do you feel like you have friendships with anybody that's there? Or would you even create friendships with them?
Brandon.
But I say I have friendships with them. I don't know. I don't really use the friendship word loosely.
Okay.
So would I say that we have like very like founded, like do we have relationships that are, I wouldn't say
this is too technical.
No, I know. I'm trying to think because I just can't use the word friends, but like do we have a rapport that's very grounded in, for sure? Like if I didn't work for them anymore, would I still talk to like Brandon, Mel? Do I think I would literally communicate with like even like Chandrika and Brian? Most definitely, for sure.
Okay.
I think that we could definitely like grow into having a more founded friendship. It's just very difficult for me to kind of cross that. Like it's,
right.
I don't know. I don't know if I just haven't gotten to that point yet where I can go out and drink with them and like really relate to them. I'm very relatable. I'm very relatable in too many ways too, and that's always been my problem. From a perspective of like how I dress and like my hobbies and all those things, it's like he's almost too relatable to be someone who we have to, answer to in a sense, So I don't want to cross the lines too much because it's almost like a good thing to have a barrier where they can't really connect to, pick up. Don't feel comfortable calling me. Don't feel comfortable doing some of these things because at that point it's hard to manage. But nah.
Right, gotcha.
I definitely feel strongly about our relationships with each other. And that's for so many people in their company. A lot of them, to be honest with you, said, look, when you open your restaurant, can I work for you? Can I do business together with you? Not poaching. I think that's actually in my contract that I can't take anybody to leave. But anyways, I definitely feel good about the relationships I have with them for sure. They're great people, and I'm excited that I've gotten to know them this far.
Okay.
Is your best friend single? I'm sorry, y'all. Taking as well. It's hard out here. Y'all got to do what I do. Just love at the people in relationships.
I hope that next season you all get to see so much more of him because that is I've known.
Well, if he's not single, I don't think they want to.
No, but he is amazing. He is literally like he just compliments me so well. Like I just have so much respect for him. Even our business. Like everything that we do is just very like connected, and we've grown so much with each other. I mean, I've known Dre for over 13 years at this point. So.
See, and that's why I feel like if we got to see y'all outside of the restaurant, and I mean, I know y'all go to work, we all know that.
Yeah.
But seeing the outside stuff, it would make that show so much better. And we're enjoying it because that's why we started reviewing it because we do enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I do think just seeing more of the outside stuff would just enhance that so much more.
And they talked about that. I think production was really big on that, like next season, or like just if we do get another season, rather, like they really want to get into like our personal lives and what we're doing, and I think that would be awesome because it's not even just me. It's like I want you guys to be able to see like what Patrick does. Like Brandon, even every Monday goes and does this nonprofit thing because he has his own organization. He meets with his mentor, and like all these little things that again make us. It's true though. I'm telling you, it's so dope.
I mean, I'm sure he does.
Brandon, you just not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he does really nice things. I'm sure it's cute. The nonprofit
on your podcast and ask him these questions and talk to him and see what he's talking about.
I actually reached out to him the other day, so hopefully,
tell him to put something in his ear, let him know that people are so excited.
I'll be like, look, it's part of your job. You got to do the podcast.
Well, welcome. We'll be so excited to have him. I was about to ask a question about. Well, I would just say that it would be a little bit more interesting to know all of you all's personal life. So hopefully they do dive a little bit deeper into that because you just do seem like you just are there for work stuff. So it was random to see you even in Patrick's place because it just seems like you're there for the work.
Oh, that's all I do. I don't fraternize with them. I don't. But when we are at work together, is it more fun now? Is it more like? Yeah, most definitely.
The fun that it used to be, that's what they was all talking about, like it was a party.
Drinking and smoking and stealing and doing all
That's working the OLG. Like we want it back to what it used to be.
Yeah. We don't close until 10, but they got a sign at the front at 8 o'clock saying we close, come back tomorrow. Like, yeah, it was doing all that crazy stuff.
I would love to see a lot more of like Chandrika and Dominique like outside of the restaurant, really, for real.
Yeah, and then you know what? They have a dope friendship. I like their friendship a lot. Like even when every morning I walk in there, they're just like Chandrika's behind the bar with Dom, talking her mess, etc. Like they have a really cool dynamic together. I like them.
I love Drika. I mean, she's from New York. We are great. You can't beat us.
Even like Patrick and Mel, they're always at work together. They have a really dope. They work out together. You know what I mean? You could tell they definitely still connect even outside of that. And I don't think they displayed their friendship as much as they could have either.
Yeah.
Do you think you get more love or hate? Because some of these episodes, I was sick and tired of you, Phillip. I was sick and tired of you.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of hate for sure, but what can I do about it? I mean, I can't rewrite what happened. It happened, and it's a fact that it was a true moment. So. I can't explain my perspective on it, but you're walking into this establishment and there's a lot of stuff that wasn't a red carpet laid out for me.
Yeah.
You know, and so honestly, I was the person that was enforcing or bringing up a lot of things that the owners didn't really. You got Todd's very laid back and very chill, but he still cares about his business. So Todd's gonna be like, hey Phil, why is this person doing X, Y, and Z? Or Kandi may say, why is my cousin who's the chef or whatever doing this, that, and the other? It's like, that's your family. You don't want to talk to them about it? Why do you gotta talk to them about it? You know? But again, they're not confrontational people like that, but they still want their business to succeed. So some of it was like a bit of uncomfortability on my end, and just like being thrown into this mix of like, I bet now you're doing OLGs and you got cameras and you film. It's like, wait, what? And at first, I was like, you know, people are gonna put the success or failure of OLG on me. So if the restaurant is doing bad, they're gonna be like, this is your director of operations. It's like, I have my own LLC. So at the end of the day, me doing restaurant consulting and people seeing this on TV, you don't think it's gonna in some way be like,
you don't think that this is different because it's Kandi everything. If it fails, anybody worried about who cooked or opened the door?
That's what
Kandi didn't do the food right. Okay, I'm gonna automatically blame Kandi.
Right. No, look, you're right about that. Because every time somebody calls me over, they be like, "And why would Kandi choose this?"
I don't care about what you did. You could go there and blow the building up, and I was like, Kandi done had this stuff all blown up.
Exactly. We out of code. Why would Kandi?
Kandi ain't ordering the stuff.
Kandi does get blamed for like everything, and she takes it very well. Like she is the most like composed person. She can walk through these buildings and she smiles and she changes the tone. And even when people kind of go to her with like their concerns or frustration, she's just so cool and easy to talk to, man. Like I think
does she come up often?
Oh yeah, right. Yes, most definitely. We were in Blaze today. She popped up. Me, Don Juan, her she popped because she's down the street from there. So she pops up. She'll pull up at the OLG because you know, like all of these restaurants are kind of centered around where she like works.
Does business, yeah.
So, yeah, so it's like it's dope to see her just walk in the building and not be like, let me dip through the back and let me do this and the other. She just walks in, she takes pictures. She's very relatable, and I think that's why people love Kandi.
I bet she's signing autographs. Question. How do you address individuals who look at a show like this or the work that you do and say, he's too serious. This is just a restaurant. Like, it's just a restaurant. It's high turnover rates. All y'all doing is serving chicken. Why he acting like this is a Fortune 500?
Well, I get paid to do a job, right? Mm-hmm. So, and my check's not small. So if I'm paid to be there, I'm gonna make it worth it. Because again, even outside of what people may see on there, my work ethic has opened up more opportunities for me than anything. So someone saying that I'm too serious with it, that's just me. Somebody that's laid back, that's just them. This is who I am, and this is how I approach, my role with them. And these are conversations that I don't just have with like the audience, but these are also conversations that I have with like Don Juan, like, hey, why can't you do it this way? I'm not that guy. Mm-hmm. So if you want somebody to do it that way, not saying that I can't meet you in the middle on it, but you got to find someone else that's going to do it that way, because that's just not my personality. So I don't come from that background, and I come from a restaurant that is extremely successful, and it's because they fine tune all those small things. Working with you ever is not the easiest thing to do. Okay, so when you talk about work ethic, when you talk about just like how culturally we kind of operate, it's not easy. So you got to come in strong sometimes. But
they have a question in the chat, and which I'm sure I already know what the answer is, but they said, can you drop the skincare routine? I'm sure it's genetics, people, but they want to know if you could drop the skincare routine.
I don't have a skincare routine.
See, he told y'all. He just watched his face.
They get on me about that too. I look crazy on TV because I'm not even gonna clown anybody, but the makeup was like,
oh my God, horrendous. When you first got it, you were glowing. It was like the bronzer they bronzed you for the gods, and it just didn't blend down to the neck. And I was like, why is he looking like this?
I know. I don't know.
Y'all remember Family Matters when they had the Halloween episode and it was the doll? That's what you was looking like. And I was like, why they got his face made up like this? It don't look, why they doing Phillip like this? It made me sad.
It was bad. It was like, but I had never used makeup before. I didn't even know what to do or how to fix it or what to do. So it was like, it was what it was, so I don't know what the hell to do. But yeah, the makeup on some of the shit is like, I think every little interview thing I do, a confessional, it's like I'm a different shade of brown. I'm like, I don't know, guys. Like,
But we have almost kept you 2 hours.
So
you about to,
right, I didn't think it was gonna last that long. I thought you were gonna hate us and be like, wrap it up, please.
Wrap it up.
That's what I thought.
Like, all right, we don't like this. The people that well, no, I knew you would be easy to talk to, but sometimes it could have gone the other direction. You know.
Oh my God, never! I dream about you, Philip. I could have been. We could be here all day, but we know you got to talk to Felipe. You in a relationship or something like that. You got work.
I'm going back to OLG after we get off this live. I'm going back.
Really, and tell everybody how much you enjoyed the experience.
I really enjoyed you guys.
Give an autograph when you get there. Just write one autograph for us, okay? To tell everybody how much you enjoyed the experience. Let them know they need to do it next. If you want Brandon to come over here, SoDeb would love to talk to him.
Y'all gonna talk to Brandon?
Yeah, I think I inboxed him, Chandrika, and Patrick.
I bet. I think y'all should definitely.
I want to talk to Chandrika.
Yeah. Me too. Because we're from similar hometowns. She's like an hour away from me.
Crazy, y'all. Chandrika has no filter. She's actually really hilarious.
That's why I want to talk to her.
She is crazy. Yeah. Chandrika.
Look at you saying good things about. Okay, go and say one good thing about each person. Then we can go through. Then we can get off. A good thing about each person, so we can show the people that you like everything. Start with Torin.
One good thing about Torin. What's good about Torin? Sorry, I'm not even doing it like that. Torin. Torin is, I think he's handsome. He's a handsome guy. Yeah.
I know. I started saying that. I thought he was more attractive in this episode. Chandrika.
Chandrika is like the life of the party. Chandrika said she's cool. She work-wise, yes, her mouth can get her in trouble. But Chandrika she has a dope personality. I actually think Chandrika has a beautiful smile. She has great teeth too.
Do you have her sunglasses? A pair of them?
No, I don't. I'm waiting on her to gift me a pair of them.
A gift? You got the coin.
That's not the point.
Oh.
I want them for free, okay?
Okay. Dom.
Dom, same. Love Dom's personality. I think Dom is also very talented. I love people who are like have that artistry aspect to them. So her dancing and all that stuff, I think is just really dope. Everybody can't do that. So
Shardo. Why is Shardo here? I guess we see the next episode, but Shardo.
I don't know him that well. I can't necessarily that I can say anything great about him. I hear that he definitely, I think he throws parties or something like that, and they say that he does that very well. He's something, I don't know what it is, but anyways, I think that he does something very well. He's very young also. I think he's like probably the youngest cast member. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I don't really know him well enough to say anything crazy about him.
I feel like we don't get to know him that much on the show at all either.
At all.
Yeah, I don't.
He gives us peanut gallery sometimes, like here and there. He does help out. He's like the Greek chorus at some point where I'm like, thank God somebody said it, but we don't really get.
I almost feel like the personalities on the show like really casted a shadow over him because Shardo has a big personality, but it was kind of weird. I think that him just being in the midst of all of them, it just didn't display that way.
Mm.
He did like he shrunk when he got into the housewarming. Like, hey guys. What about Brian?
Love Brian. That's one person that I have connected with. I'm not saying Brian hang out. No, we don't hang out. I don't hang out with any of them. But that kind of struggle when you can relate on something that's very like the minute I saw that preview, because you gotta think when I watch the show, when we watch the show, we're learning things about each other that we didn't even know because we're not all together. So a lot of things that we're able to see is like we're watching from an audience perspective as well because there are things that we may not know. So I had a really great conversation with him and just told him I appreciated him being able to be that vulnerable on TV because I wasn't really rather willing to share as much as he did. And I think that he helped somebody. He definitely in that moment kind of like brought tears to my eyes because I was like, man, like I connected on that. And it was just a random moment I called him and we had a great conversation. And when I see him now, it's like, you know, you see somebody like, hi, now I actually like give him a hug, etc. I think he is definitely a star. He's just a man of many talents. But once he owns in on exactly what he wants to kind of like focus on, I think he's definitely going to make it in a big way.
Oh, I like the way to end that. I don't care about the rest of them. I will say you did free up some time. Did you free up some of Don Juan's time so now he could just look at the rain cameras?
Man, that man is so busy. Let me tell you something. Don Juan is another person who's like, you're talking about from like payroll, HR, and Don Juan is like, he does his own business. He manages Candy's schedule. He does payroll for other restaurants. Like, he's a goat. He's move. He's just like, he's not trying. Don Juan could easily probably sit back and vacation or do whatever, but he's just very involved. If it was not for him, if I would say this, if there's anybody who I've built a dope relationship with, definitely Don Juan. Because Don Juan and me, Don Juan knows how to push my buttons, but he also knows how to bring me back to Nora. Like, he's somebody who I can call very frustrated and go off on. And then an hour later, he's like, so what's up? You good? All right. You know what I mean? Like, if I want to quit, I call Don Juan and say, I quit. There you go. And I know he's going to call me back and be like, all right, what we need to do, what we got to get done. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's somebody most definitely that's kept me connected to all of this, for sure.
Oh, shout
I
out
really
to Don Juan.
For sure.
Well, we want to thank you so much for taking the time out to meet with us. See, look at those arms. Oh, I was born like this. But thank you for taking the time to meet with us. We really had a lot of fun, and I will be there in 2 weeks. So, next week, and
29th.
So don't be trying to act like you don't know us now.
No, I would never do that. For sure.
We'll be there.
I heard it here
We'll be there on
first.
the 29th.
We will.
Okay.
What's the best time to go?
Where, OLG?
Yeah.
I don't even know what day of the week that is or whatever.
We're going on Friday.
On a Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Fridays don't really get that popping until like maybe like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
I didn't say I was going to see the go for a show. Now I just want to eat the food, judge it, and leave.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, don't come during a time where it's gonna be crazy busy. Where you like,
okay.
Hold on, you know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know, just we can always make it work. You know, you guys are like special guests, so
yes, we'll talk offline. Y'all, I don't even know my mama anymore. Okay, yes,
we'll make sure you have a good time though, for sure.
Let the people know where they can
check out Blaze too. I want you to check out Blaze.
Okay. Let the people know where they can find you at.
Just Instagram. On my Instagram, it is _Phillip, PHILLIP, Kwasi, KWASI.
Okay.
Yo, let's get him to over 500,000. Do you have your blue check mark?
Yeah, it's coming.
Oh, see, there was a smile to your face. You care about that.
All right, you got something else, Busy?
No, that was it.
Are you gonna tell them where they can find you?
Yes. If y'all want to know more about me and everything else that I have going on, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter, BusyBlu, no space, no E. You can also find me on Twitch, BusyBlu, where this is definitely streaming right now.
All right, y'all. Y'all can find me everywhere at SoDebNair on all social media except Twitch. It's SoDebNair. I never really use it. And if you can't find me there, you can Google me. Also, you can go to SoDebNairET.com for my merch. And that's pretty much it. Guys, we will see you guys next Monday on my channel for we'll tell you we can find y'all for the review. Depends on what happens next week.
Y'all will see us Wednesday. And Phillip, if you want to join us, we are reading This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib. It's a riveting tale about a bitch with roaches. We are going to be reading up to chapter 33, I think. 23, I think.
All right, give me the name of it.
It's a Quan Mills book, the famous.
Okay.
So, if you all want to read along with us, check us out Wednesday, members only, and then Friday we post our members only video live, and then we'll be back next week on your channel if we don't get an interview with Brandon for the recap of episode 8, which looks like it's about to be really good.
It is. Please tune in.
Because Chandrika was like, I'm getting out of here. I mean, that was Dom. I'm getting out of here. You tell him to shut up.
Well, yeah, definitely, guys, inbox me when you all are headed this way. We can exchange contact information so you can, we can speak more directly.
Oh, that's a promise. You ain't saying nothing. The worst thing you did is say busy inboxing me. I will be there. I'll be right in the DMs. Okay, y'all. He gave me permission. Y'all ready to close this out?
All right, y'all. We will see y'all on Wednesday. Bye, y'all.
Guys, thank you.